Hi guys, welcome back to the podcast. Today we're joined by Lauren Richardson, also known as Lauren Leigh Fit on Instagram, and she is an incredible HYROX athlete. She is the current female open doubles world record holder in the 25 to 29 age group and was also part of the team that set a mixed relay world record in Dublin just last year. We're really looking forward to chatting, finding out about her HYROX journey, how she's achieved those record-breaking performances, and what it takes to compete at the top level. We appreciate it because it's a day before Glasgow, and Lauren's racing tomorrow, and she's got all settled after a 2 a.m. start to come and chat to us. So thank you for joining us, Lauren. Hopefully we can wrap it up quickly and you can get back to napping.
Absolutely. No, it really, really, honestly, I feel really privileged to be given the opportunity. So thank you to the both of you.
Oh no, thank you so much for agreeing to come on. We'll chat about Glasgow soon. But before we go into that, maybe you could take us right back to the start. And I guess where your High Rocks journey begin. We always find it interesting to find out kind of what backgrounds people have come from and how
Yeah.
you found out about the sport. So could you give us a little rundown?
Yeah, so I have a running background. I've been a runner for years and years. And I got injured running, and it wasn't a major injury. It was shin splints, so I was doing a lot of bike volume instead. I was resting. I was obviously not running. So I was doing spin classes just to get the intensity there. And I was like, oh, I actually, at one point, I was going to 2 spin classes a day. And I was like, I actually can't even cope with like the bike anymore. So I heard about like Hyrox was very much a buzzword when I come across it. So it was flying around in gyms and things like that. And I was like, what is this Hyrox? Like, is it rock climbing? Is it like what is it? And I'd always like strength train, sorry, to supplement my running, obviously to avoid injury and everything like that. So I had like a good strength base, was familiar with weight training, and then I seen online that there was a gym around me that was like doing high rocks classes. So I was like, maybe I'll just like I'll go over and see what the crack is. So anyway, I went and I was like, oh my God, I love it. I want to do it. What is it? Like, sign me up now. So I was in the gym and there was a big group of the gym lot going, and they were like, oh, why don't you come? It's in Dublin. And I was like, oh, I don't know, like it's I've only been to 2 classes, I'm not really sure. So I was like, I'll think about it. And then a lady said that she had to drop out due to injury and she had a ticket going. So I was like, it's the universe giving me an opportunity just to try. So I was like, let's just take the opportunity. So I went over to Dublin. I ran the race, injury free at this point. Shin splints had completely gone. Um, and I went over to Dublin, did it, and I ended up winning overall and age group. So I was like, what the hell? Maybe I could be actually quite good at this. And on Dublin as well, I wasn't sure what to expect. Like, I didn't understand the lap situation, so I genuinely went into thinking, oh, it'll just be one lap and then like a station in between. How hard can it be? And then on the day of the race, they sent out the race map and then the laps, and I was like, this is what do you mean I need to count? That doesn't make sense. What do you mean? So I had a look at it, did the lap situation, ended up running too many laps. Um, but yeah, that was my first intro into High Rocks. That's kind of where it all started. And then after that, I was just like, I got the bug for it, and I was like, I just want to be better. This is something that really pushes me, so I want to do it as good as I can. Um, so yeah, that's where it all started, really.
Yeah,
Love
I
that.
mean, when you say about the laps, Dublin does have a lot of laps, doesn't it? I mean, like I think it's like five or so. I mean, it's probably the worst one for your first time when you think maybe one, maybe two laps, maybe three, but like you're getting like to 4 or 5 laps in Dublin, aren't you? So
Yeah, and it was so busy. Like I can remember, like they let us, like the countdown stopped as there was, I think, probably about 50 to 80 people passing the start tunnel. So like we just like ran into this massive crowd of people, and I was like, that was dangerous, but here we are.
Made it
No,
out the other side.
yeah, just by the skin of my teeth.
Yeah, it's like starting a triathlon swim, isn't it? Like when
Oh,
it's just like you go into a crowd. Do you ever get that moment as well where you're coming on your laps or you're in the middle of your race, and then maybe like after you, there's like a guy like the men's doubles or men's solo or something, and then you hear the countdown for the first wave, and you're like, oh my God, here we go.
it's terrifying because
Wave for the...
they don't take any prisoners. Like they are out for blood, and you can just like feel the wave of testosterone coming from behind. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
you know what? I'm just gonna take the outside lane and not even risk getting trampled.
I know
Oh
it's
no.
so funny. But taking it back to you and your running, what kind of running were you doing? Was it like track? Was it longer distance? Like how did you compete?
It was a mix of everything, to be honest. It was more so my running didn't really have real structure until I joined a running club, and then my coach was like, you know, you're really, really good. You have a natural like gift for it. We think you'd be like an incredible like shorter distance runner. So my max was always half marathon. But my main two were 5Ks and 10Ks, and then anywhere in between that was just like training runs. So we had like summer series every single year, winter series, and yeah, I did well in all of the races that I did. I was always top female. Um, but the longest distance that I ever did during that time was like 30 kilometers. And
Hmm.
it's because I got bored one day and it was a really nice day, and that ended up biting me in the butt because I got sunburned. It's like, damn, Lauren, go.
And do you like now looking back, do you prefer kind of the high rocks hybrid style as opposed to being more of a pure runner?
Absolutely. Yeah. I've always loved strength training. I was always in the gym alongside running because of, well, obviously to complement my running, but I just loved being there. Like the gym is just somewhere that's always been such a safe space for me. It was a place that I wasn't allowed to go into for so many years. So when I had the freedom to do it and do it for the right reasons, it was like I was just given this freedom that I'd never experienced before, and it was just incredible. It really is. It's still a safe space for me. It's just where I
Mm.
go and forget about everything, and it's very similar to running as well. So yeah, love the hybrid approach. Absolutely love it.
Hmm. And when you started doing I know you went to the HYROX class, and maybe like a lot of people, the sleds and stuff were new, and maybe like wall balls and stuff, unless you're a CrossFitter. Were you doing any of that kind of training in your strength and conditioning, or was it very much like barbell work and explosive strength to like kind of help the running?
Yeah, it was more the explosive strength. But I was trying to like be both explosive, but then also train for hypertrophy as well, which the two
Okay.
like can exist to a certain degree, but like they usually don't kind of tie in together. So I was very much still fixated on training for aesthetics and performance at the same time. Whereas
Mm.
now I'm like, the aesthetic comes as a byproduct of the performance. But yeah, no, had never touched a wall ball, had never touched a ski. What else hadn't I touched? A sled, didn't know what they were. I was calling it a sledge to begin with. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my
I mean,
God.
yeah, sledge and Hydrox, the sledge and
Yes.
Hydrox. It's like everyone now. Now you're like, guys, it's Hyrox and it's a sled. But
Yeah.
like when it was all new, everyone, yeah, you can tell everyone's just like, what the hell is this stuff?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And that was me. My
yeah,
ski test as well. Oh God.
The
Not
ergs.
nice.
Yeah, I know. It's so funny, and like when you watch videos back as well and how it's evolved as like a sport and how everyone's evolved with it, it's so interesting.
Oh
But do
gosh.
you train because presumably before you were when you were doing the run club and maybe had like a running coach, and that was kind of your focus. Do you still train in that way now? Like some people kind of have their running and then their strength training that supplements HYROX, and then some athletes have kind of an all-in-one program where they sort of merge them together. How does it work for you in your training?
So mine is, I've got a coach, Ollie Russell, and mine is very much like I'll have my strength session and then I'll have my running session as well. So we don't do it depends on what kind of phase I'm in. So Ollie's great with periodization and in terms of like your goals and things like that. So my running volume and the running kind of sessions change depending on where I am in the program and which block I'm training in. But the strength typically stays the same. I do like 2 to 3 strength sessions a week. And then the running gets more specific to the race that I've got coming up. Or if we're in the off season, it's obviously not as high, not as like not your 300s and 400s. It's very much like your zone 2 and just building the engine.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Ollie's such a good guy, and I bet he's a brilliant coach. From
Oh,
everything he's done, and
yeah.
like the theatre lads, and just what they've created and built through HYROX. I bet he's great to work with.
Oh gosh, yeah, he's absolutely incredible. Like I actually cannot give him any more praise just as a coach, as a friend, and as a human being as well. He's just one of those individuals that like cares about the people he works with, and he's just yeah, obviously you see on his like socials, he's a very transparent and open individual as well, and the things that he's gone through as well, and is able to take the lessons he's learned and use them to help other people is it's really courageous and something that like I look up to in him as well. He's just incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for anyone that doesn't know Ollie, he competes with Charlie Bottrell and will be in the doubles in the Elite 15 in Stockholm. And yeah, his journey's been interesting to watch. So yeah, I can imagine he's very good as a coach to like empathize, and like he'll be very emotionally intelligent about how to train. So it's quite cool
Oh,
to hear you
absolutely.
guys are working together.
Yeah, he's just a savage as well. Like he's just like so good at what he does and the places he can take himself. Like as an athlete, when it does get like sore when you are in that pain cave, is just it's definitely something that I admire about him massively. Yeah.
Yeah.
Has he
And I
given you
mean,
any tips?
oh no,
Oh, sorry. Are you gonna say so?
no, I was gonna say because you said pain cave, and I was like,
Yeah.
well, I feel like you must be pretty good in the pain cave to do a relay and to break a world record
Yeah.
doing a relay.
Yeah.
So maybe you
Oh,
can talk to us a bit about that because that's just like hell on earth.
yeah, well, speaking of pain cave and the relay, we attempted the world record in, I believe, yeah, Birmingham. Yeah, it was in Birmingham. So it was me, Lauren Stockley, Ben Sutherland, and Travis Oles, and we went for the world record there. And on the lunges, oh my goodness, they were barking at me, like barking like dogs, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. Like I'm just
Was
lunging
that
my life away.
motivational or?
Yeah, like I mean, hearing them absolutely like scream at you is motivational because like they obviously have the belief that you can do it. Inside, I'm just like I'm lunging my life away. I feel my legs are about to pop off, but you know these guys are barking, so if they're barking, I must be doing something good.
That was so funny. And so you did the one in Birmingham, and then you obviously did Dublin not too long after, because Dublin wasn't that long after Birmingham, was it? What did you, two questions. What stations did you do? And then did you keep them the same when you broke the world record, or did you guys change the format?
So we changed the format. So in Birmingham, I did sled pull and lunges. Um, the sled pull just wasn't a good station for me. Um, I think I would have done better on the stations that I did in Dublin, but we changed the format in Dublin, and obviously we did break the world record. In Dublin, I did the sled push and the wall balls. I love a wall ball. So when they suggested that, I was like, I could do wall balls. I could do wall balls. That's fine. Um, but we also changed the so Lauren, I don't think Lauren could do Dublin, so we ended up having another female jump in for Lauren, called Neve, incredible athlete as well. She was just so willing to just like slip in and just go like hell for leather and help us achieve that, and it was incredible. But yeah, in short, I did the lunges and sled pull in the first one, and then the second one I did push and wall balls, and then obviously changed the format because we had a different female.
Okay, got you. And then how about the pain cave thing? How did you grin and bear it? Like, how did you do the first like 2 stations and then keep going on the wall balls?
I think when other people are depending on me, I'm a lot better at competing. Like even in my doubles, it's painful. It always is going to be painful. But I think when you know that three other individuals are also voluntarily putting themselves through that pain, you kind of just have to be like, suck it up, Lauren. Those three people are also doing the same thing. So just do your best and really like until the wheels fall off, really.
Did you feel the pressure on the wall balls, like closing it out? Because I presume, did you know that you were on for the world record at that time? I imagine, or did you not know?
No, I had no idea. So I don't know if it was Travis or Ben that said to me like we need to push it, and I was like, oh, when anybody tells me I need to push it, I know we're either below target or we are completely off target. So when he said that, I was like, oh, okay, no worries, I'll go. So I ran as hard as I could possibly run into the wall balls, picked up the wall ball, and I felt like my first set of like 20 wall balls were like moving really, really well. And then we got to 30, and I was like, oof, just got to keep going, just got to keep going. And then I just in my head broke them down into like five. So I was like, right, if we can do five, we can do 10. If we can do 10, we can do five. If we do five, we can do 10. Until like it got to 90. And then Travis, Ben, and Neve were just like, come on, Lauren, keep going. And then we crossed the line, and I didn't really know if we'd done it or not. But then Ben just like picked me up and we was like, we did it. We did it. And that was on you at the end. And I was like, oh, we did it. So yeah, it was amazing.
It's so nice as a team, like to share it like together. It's like such a cool thing to do. But I just feel like fair play because the pressure at the end, like being the last one, is like really cool, but also I guess really horrible.
Yeah, it
And
was.
everybody else is like relaxed and got their heart rate back down, is like celebrating, and you're probably just like, just let me lie. Let me lie down here.
I was like, nobody touched me. I'm sweaty. I can't breathe. Like, I think I'm about to go to cardiac arrest. Please just let me have a moment.
But you did say before we press record that it has since been taken from
Yeah,
potentially,
let
I
me
think we're
see.
trying to work out if it was the Americans or the Aussies that got it. But do you think you'll be going back for more? Do you enjoy the relay, and is it kind of something you want to keep working at as a team to maybe chip away at that time? And because it's great when people like set them and then break them and then set them and then break them, because
Yeah,
it just kind of raises the bar, doesn't it?
course, yeah. And I think like when you really look at the level of athlete coming into HYROX now, like they're only going to continue to be broken, and that's exciting. Like a lot of individuals would see it as like quite disheartening, but I'm just like, no, that's amazing, because then it gives us something to work towards, and yeah, it's definitely, we're definitely eyeing up going for the world record again. We've already got a team well, we're forming a team at the moment. Um, so yeah, hopefully we'll get that world record again, and then it'll probably be broken like 2 weeks later.
It's so crazy at this moment, isn't it? I think it was in Phoenix. It was Cole Learn, Kieran Milligan, Luke Ennis, and Sydney Wells. Like proven,
Yeah,
the proven team.
after Cole's performance, like
Oh, I know, this weekend. It's
that
crazy, isn't
doesn't
it?
surprise me. Yeah,
48-22 they got. That's
that is
that's what you got to
wild.
beat.
So we got 49-13 or 49-7. So yeah,
Yeah,
we've got a little minute to chip off there.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
it said it. Yeah, 44 seconds. It said it. They beat you by. So now you just need to like get
find
50
45
seconds.
seconds.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No
You've got that.
pressure.
No pressure. No pressure. There'll be a lot of barking and loads of people shouting at you at the warbles. The
Oh,
warbles might be a
yeah.
little bit more pressurized.
Luckily, they've got better since then as well. So hopefully we can shave some time off the
Yeah,
wobble
definitely.
and get it.
And you can say to everyone, like, you need to get in, like, you need to get me in with more time to do my warbles. It's like, it's the whole team, isn't it? It's not just you at the end
Yeah,
that's got to do it in the warble. So, throw it back on them and give you, like,
absolutely.
the opportunity to smash the record so you can do your warbles and not have to
Yeah. I
go
like,
to the
pick it up,
second.
sister. Let's go. Pick up the runs.
And you've also done doubles with Lauren Stockley, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you kind of touched on there that you like being maybe part of a team or doing the doubles or the relay because it makes you push harder. How was that, and did you enjoy like teaming up together and racing?
Yeah, so me and Lauren spoke a lot about doing a doubles together. So when we had the opportunity to pair up in London, we took that opportunity because it was a good course. Um, on the day, I was absolutely fried, which is it was really, really sad. I think what I made the mistake of doing was racing too much too early in the season, and it really ruined it for me in London. Because when I ran with Lauren, I felt so lucky and so honored to be running with such like an incredible individual, an incredible athlete. And then I was overcome with like the feeling that I just let her down.
Mm.
Which was, so yeah, it really did put I put a bad taste in my own mouth on the back end of that race, but not many people can say they've ran a doubles with now an Elite 15 athlete. So I'm really, really grateful, and she's doing things in the space, and she's just absolutely incredible. I just didn't have it in me that day.
Mm.
But yeah, hopefully when I do, you know so hopefully when I do make my way towards the Elite 15 myself, which is the big goal, we could pair up again, and maybe just I can do a little bit better for
Oh,
sure.
Yeah.
bless you. Yeah,
I
oh no, go on, Faye.
No, God, I think you were gonna say like I know how you feel. Like I feel like it's hard in doubles because it's very rare that both of you like are like on the top of your game, or both of you are like matched on fitness, and there's not one of you that's like, oh, I'm struggling today, or oh, I feel like I could have done a bit more. And it is that feeling of like letting the other one down sometimes. But I think, I don't know, personally, I think if you turn up and you just give it everything you've got, it's just that one day, and sometimes stuff falls on the day and you feel really good, and sometimes a race falls on a day that just doesn't work for you for so many different reasons. And yeah, fair play to you.
Yeah.
You probably worked harder and you probably pushed more and you probably achieved more that day, not being at 100% than you would if you like flew through it. So
Oh my God, yeah. Like that is so true. And I think like on the back end of it, I was so sad. I was so like defeated. I was just, but then it taught me a lot about how I internalize a lot of my failures or what I perceive to be failures and how I can really learn from them. Um, and then at the end of it as well, like I was like, oh, because I had a solo book the next day, and I was like, I'm not gonna do the solo. And then I did end up standing on the line to do the solo, and that was the race that I DNF'd in. I walked off like after I think it was 3/4 of the first length of burpees. I walked off and I was like, yeah, I should have learned from yesterday that that was a bad idea. So yeah, it taught me a lot, to be honest. I could tell as soon as I got into the ski with Lauren, I was like, oof, this is hurting way too early. So it was just like hanging on for dear life. And then Lauren is just such an incredible runner. I could just see her in the distance, and in my head, I was like, oh no.
Wait for me. It's okay, we've all been there.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we've all felt that.
Yeah.
No, I think it's like it's really honest and open of you to say though, because I think a lot of people probably do relate to that, and like you've learned from it, maybe like yeah, whether it's scheduling races better or not racing as much. I mean, like me and Faye personally, we just crammed in like quite a few races in a short space of time, but purposely. But it took it out of us. Like we had the time, we were able to travel before like other things took priority, and you do, it's not just like the physical, it's the mental as well. It's a lot to like to take on. And I think with HYROX, because there are so many opportunities to race and race multiple times in a weekend as well, like people can get like a little bit carried away or just excited to have the opportunity to do it, and then it can take its toll. So yeah, I think it's like important to share and to, like you say, learn from for like the next season going forward.
Absolutely. And I think it's almost been normalized to race like multiple times in a weekend. And yes, that's great for people that can do it. So like Charlie Bottrell, like incredible athlete, incredible individual, but he has trained from such a young age and like doing such high volume from such a young age, and his body is accustomed to doing that. So like individuals that, yeah, they might have gone to the gym or ran for a few years, going into that with the expectation that the body can withstand that much volume impact, like the central nervous system is wild. And I think it's something that we really need to try not normalize, and not like, I think some people almost have like, they feel like they have bragging rights to race as many times in a weekend as they possibly can. But then what we don't see, because it's not on social media, is the fact that it's now taken them 3 weeks to get back into training, and their central nervous system's absolutely fried. They have no motivation to get back into training. They don't have the mental capacity to go into training, and they're now starting to feel little niggles. So it's both the blessing and curse of social media being so, I don't know, big in people's lives.
Yeah, just showing the highlights, doesn't it? Like, it doesn't show you
Yeah.
like, I mean, like I've been down and out with like a chest infection for the last few days, but well, the last couple of weeks actually, and probably is a little bit to do with like a lot of travel, and like we've moved countries, and we've raced quite a bit, and yeah, but I mean, I'm not putting on social media that I'm lying in bed or feeling sorry for myself every morning and moaning around the house. I'm surprised Em
No.
didn't put some videos up, but no one puts that stuff up. I just went quiet, where I was just like, I can't even do anything. But yeah, you don't see that side of it, and then everyone will just see, oh, now we're racing at Glasgow, and it's like, well, actually, I've been in bed for the last 2 weeks, but like,
Yeah, and like that's
you're
almost like the
right.
reason why you're now able to race in Glasgow, is because you've listened to your body, or almost been forced.
Yeah, for force for sure. Like, yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and like we as individuals, we need to not let it get to that point,
Mm,
like where our body literally like brings upon illness for us to stop or slow down, you know?
yeah. 100%. And it goes like the same, doesn't it, in whether it's just exercise or whether it's work or whether it's family life or whether you've got other stresses going on, and like sometimes everything comes together in like the perfect storm, which I feel is like what happened to me. But like
Hmm.
sometimes you can try and just like I probably should have taken it back a bit, done a lot more steady training, which is what I ended up doing. But like if I'd have done that maybe a month earlier,
Yeah.
I might have got away with it. Like, but yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you. So did you just change your like season this season, and you've changed the way you like race or the way you train, or do you look at HRV or anything like when you're planning your training? What have you done differently to try and avoid the burnout that maybe you hit last time?
Definitely not racing as much as helped. Oh, and I've also stopped being a yes person. So like it's incredible being a yes person and saying yes to opportunities and friends and I don't know social things, but when it comes of the price of your own, I don't know, mental well-being or exhaustion and just general fatigue, that's when it is a problem. So I've definitely stopped saying yes to as much as I used to. I've definitely set boundaries with certain individuals, people, and in certain relationships that I have in my life. That's definitely been the biggest one for me. And I've stopped and I'm still working on not being such a people pleaser and try to like accommodate for everybody and making sure everybody else is okay before I'm okay. And because it just leads to me feeling really resentful towards the people that I'm looking out for and helping, but also resentful towards myself for not setting those boundaries. Um, so yeah, I think that's the only thing that I've really changed in training alongside having some testing done as well. So I had some RMR testing, which is just your um resting metabolic rate. So just finding out how much nutrition I need on my rest days versus how much I need on a single session day versus how much I need on a double session day. And it's definitely changed training for me massively. And I won't lie and say it's been perfect because it absolutely hasn't been. And especially with history of an eating disorder, like it can be really challenging, especially when life stresses pop up or overwhelm pops up. Like the first thing I do go to is, controlling food. And so it does become a little bit difficult, but for the most part, it's been smooth sailing. And that's definitely something that has helped me see a huge difference in training. But as far as HRV goes, I've never found it accurate for me. So I've seen like my HRV be really high, but then I've gone into a training session and it's felt like absolute garbage. And then my HRV levels have been, super like awful. And then I've gone out and been absolutely flying. Heart rate is ungodly low for what I'm actually doing. And I'm just like, eh. So that's when I stopped looking at HRV and just kind of gone off of feeling. It's also what I've in training, I think something I've changed as well is obsessing over heart rate. I think so many people do it, but when I think about back in the day when I ran or when I was in school doing sports and running and my running coach or netball coach when I was in school and everything like that, the only thing they had was a stopwatch. And I can remember when I went away to work and when I think I was maybe early 20s, I went away to work and the only thing I had was a Casio.
Yeah,
One of
old
those
school.
old little Casios, and I used to just tie myself on my little Casio, and that was all I had. I went off RPE, like how hard does this feel? Like what is my body telling me? How like what's my breath rate? And yeah, that's something that I've changed recently as well, because I used to look at my heart rate, say, for example, I was going into a hard run and my heart rate spiked. I'd be like, oh, that's it, session's over, gone too hard.
It, it's
I'm
it,
crap.
it's so funny though that you say that, because I think also, like, one, when you look at your heart rate when you're feeling good and it's like a zone two run or something, you're fine because you can deal with it. But if you look at your heart rate and you are struggling, and then I don't know, you're like 5 minutes into a run or something and you're like, oh my God, it makes you feel like you're struggling even worse, like you just said.
Yeah.
Or like I don't know whether you've had like a Whoop or like an Aura Ring or so, like we had one for a year, didn't we, and we stopped using it. But I think sometimes you could get to a race day and then it's like your HRV is really low and you're like, shit, I'm gonna do awful today. But like you might not, but because you've looked at something that says it, and then started saying like, don't look at it, and I'm like, yeah, I just shouldn't look at it, because if I think I'm not feeling great and something's just told me I'm not feeling great, I'll just think I'm not feeling great and then I won't feel great. Whereas if you don't see anything and, like you say, go off feel, then
Yeah.
you probably will perform better. I don't know. I don't know what everyone's. I know like
No,
measurable like wearables or whatever they call them that measure everything.
yeah.
Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? Is it?
Oh, I don't even know, because I had a Whoop as well, and I can remember where was it, Hamburg? That was my first race of the season, and I'd put a lot into the training block and everything like that, and I was really looking at the data, like sleep, HRV, rest and heart rate, all of it leading up to the race, and then I can remember not sleeping that well the night before, and I looked at my sleep score, and then I looked at my rest and heart rate, HRV, and because Whoop told me I wasn't in good shape, I then convinced myself I wasn't in good shape. And then I got to Hamburg and I was like, oh my God, like I'm sweating, I haven't even warmed up. Like, what's happening? Am I out of breath? Like, does my ankle hurt? Is my body temperature actually that high? I don't know what's happening. And I'm just like, that was all because I was so focused on data. Whereas if I'd gone off feel,
Mm.
it was, and I probably could have reasoned better. Like, was the venue hot? Had I don't know, eaten something? Had I been in a rush or whatever it was? But instead, because Whoop told me I had a crap sleep,
Yeah.
that's why I was feeling crap. So yeah,
Yeah, I know it is. It's so funny. Like you can get yourself so like worked up about it when actually like if you just don't know, you just don't know. So
Mhm.
like then you just do as best as you can do. Like oh, it
Yeah.
is
You're like, I'm
interesting.
really hot. My
Interesting
Weave's told
topic.
me, and you're like, shit, I just need to take my jumper off. Like,
Yeah.
if I just took my jumper off, I wouldn't be as hot. But like, my Weave has said my HRV's low, so obviously I'm sweating, and this is going to be a disaster. Like, what? What the hell?
Yeah, so I think like if we just focus on like how we feel and listen to our body, like our body will tell us when it needs to either stop or whether we can just like push it a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. And then you
So
said
true.
you touched on nutrition and stuff as well. Have you started to fuel your sessions differently or like fuel better? So you feel better, which means you can train better, recover better, or what was the fueling? Was it like adding more protein, or what have you done that's just made you feel like you're performing better and training better?
Um, I think it was after I was in Glasgow and me and Charlie Bottle were staying in an Airbnb together with a few more of the team at the time, and he said something that really, it was just like a light bulb moment, and he told me, fuel your training sessions, like fuel them, and then so eat for your session ahead, and then anything after that is for recovery needs.
Mm.
And it was literally the most simple form of nutrition advice I've ever received that has just changed it for me. And it's so true. Fuel for what you're about to do, just like you would fill up a tank. It's that old thing of comparing your body to a car. Like, put the petrol in the car so it can get you from A to B. Your A to B is waking up in the morning and ending that session. So fuel for that session. And then afterwards, recover from it until, say, if you have, I don't know, 2 sessions, recover from the first session, allow some time to fuel for that next session, and then do the exact same, rinse and repeat, fuel for it and recover from it. So that's literally what I've applied. So if I've got a harder, longer run, then my priority is going to be carbohydrates. And then after that is going to be replenishing carbohydrate stores, but also adding a little bit of protein for the wear and tear that's being caused through exercising. So yeah, that's what I've applied to every single session I've had since that day with that Charlie said that, and I was like, thanks, mate.
Did he also say like get yourself a meal deal or?
Do you know what? Do you know what's really, really funny? Is like when Charlie used to post about all of his meal deals and things like that. I was a full-time manager, but also trained as a full-time athlete, and because of just the lack of time, I used to also like live off Tesco meal deals, and I was like, so me and Charlie have something in common. Meal
So
deals.
good.
Some death's not as fast.
But touching on that, you did say earlier that the aim is to get into the elites. Maybe not be as fast as Charlie Bottrell, but you never know. I never say never. So what does that kind of road look like for you? Is that in the solo category, in the double category, in both? Like what's your thoughts on the seasons? Like what do you think?
So my goal has always been for it to be in solo. It's been a really, really, really rocky road getting there so far. The performances that like I've just not been performing as well as I know I can be. And the results haven't, you know, been, yeah, my results just haven't been as good as I've wanted them to be, and nowhere near close enough either. But I know that I have it in me, and I know like I'm hitting my sessions with intention and focus, and I'm hitting like the data doesn't lie. So I just need to make sure that I can execute that in the upcoming races to hopefully be on a little bit more of a smoother path. That being said, I would love to also do doubles as well. I think there's just something about racing with another strong female, and I'm massive on like empowering women and running alongside women. And I think still in this day and age, unfortunately, women do still tend to tear women down, where I love to lift women up, and I would just love to run alongside another fantastic female who inspires me to be better and pushes me to be better. So the doubles is definitely a race that a category that I would also love to race in. And obviously if the mixed doubles becomes if the mixed doubles enters the elite 15 as well, then I'd love to be in the elite 15 with Ben as well. That would be incredible.
Yeah.
All three.
I mean,
Yeah.
all three of them,
No, I mean,
everything,
fair,
and the relay.
yeah.
And the relay. Why not?
What were you just saying about racing all weekend and doing too many races? It's so funny, isn't it? It's like such a contradiction. You want to do everything, but you're trying to like, there's this little thing on, little angel on your shoulder saying like, take some time, and there's a little devil going, no, you should do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the little devil's like opportunity, opportunity, and then the angel's like, hello, Lauren, you're also a human being.
It's good though. It's cool.
Yeah, like I love that, and I think that's such a. I think firstly very like, I think very. I don't know, relatable. I think a lot of people listening probably maybe could feel similar, where they've been like training with intent, they've been doing the work, and sometimes it's just not showing, and it can be frustrating. But I just think like it is consistency, isn't it? And trying to like believe that you can do it. The mental side of things is such a huge thing, and keep chipping away. And I mean, you're an incredible athlete already and an incredible runner. So I feel like it's really not far away, but it's having the grit and the resilience to pick yourself back up, because it can be hard after like a few not so great races to actually keep going and keep putting yourself out there and think, no, I can do it. Like, is there anything that you do on the side, like I don't know, journaling or meditation or anything that you kind of do to try and help the mental side or the belief, or to keep picking you back up?
So journaling used to be a massive thing in my daily life, and it was funny because it became a massive staple in my everyday life during lockdown. Obviously we had all of the time in the world, and then the world was allowed to wake back up fully and, you know, go back to work and X, Y, and Z. And then honestly finding the time for afterwards was really hard. And although I was consistent with it still after COVID, um, as of recent, it's very much a tool that I use when I'm feeling a negative emotion, as opposed to just using it daily. Um, but so I did, like, journaling is something that I still try and do, even if it's on my notes. Like, I think people forget that journaling doesn't have to be like physically writing in a book. Even just like in your notes app, you can really just get, or on a voice note or something, just getting your thoughts out there. So journaling is definitely a tool that I have started to implement again. I'll be journaling tonight as well, just to kind of like get all of my race thoughts out. And meditation used to be something I did religiously every single day, but it's just something that I don't do as much of now. Breath work, I used to do breath work as well, until I had a until I had a not so great experience where I did end up like going into like a full-blown panic attack, because obviously like breath work is like you almost like intentionally hyperventilate just to, I don't know, you would have to experience to really understand what I'm trying to explain. But yeah, I ended up with a full-blown panic attack. So after that, I haven't done it since. And but aside from that, I've gone back into therapy, which is, oh my God, it's absolutely changed the game for me. Um, my therapist is quite a spiritual individual, and as an individual myself who is also very spiritual, like the language he uses just has worked for me. So like therapists in the past have taken a very clinical approach, whereas my therapist now, he just gets it, he just gets my language. Visualization, so now I do my visualization when I'm on the start line, and it just calms me. It really does just calm me, and it just puts me in a space of like, I am in control. Like, this race isn't controlling me, I am controlling this race. And I think that was the biggest thing for me, because going back to London when I raced with Lauren, the first thing I said to my coach was, and to my partner Chloe, I said I did not feel in control in any part of that race, and it's something I never want to feel again. So now that I've got the tool to be able to tell myself that I am in control of my race, has just like, yeah, been massive for me. So if anybody's having a really rough time in their racing or not getting the times that they want, maybe consider like something outside of the box, like, I don't know, therapy. Because it really, really has helped me so much. Even like a sports psychologist.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Because it is so much of the mental side as well as the physical side, and just pairing them together and unlocking what works for you, because everyone's different, aren't they? So like people have different
Hmm.
techniques of what calms them down or how they can like get in the zone. Like me and Faye are total opposites, like before a race, and like how even just how our brains work. Like in it, so everyone is like, yeah, totally different and what like works
Or
for
I
them.
should quote the other night, and was like, "Well, I'd love to be in your brain because like it's so boring, nothing happens because I don't really think about anything." Where M overthinks everything, it's like anxiety, and like she's like thinking, and I'm like, I couldn't deal with your brain because there's just so much going on. Whereas I'm like, earlier in the car, and I was like, "Oh, what do you think to this question on the radio?" She's like, "What?" And I was like, "The radio." She's like, "Oh, I wasn't listening. I was thinking about this, this, and this." She was like, "What were you thinking about?" I was like, "Just the question that they asked on the radio." And like we're just so
Oh,
different
goodness.
mentally.
That is literally me and Chloe. So like I am a very like Chloe is very much Faye. I am very much
You're
Emma.
like
Like
me.
Do you
Yeah.
think you have
overthinking.
to have
And
like, I feel
Yeah.
like you have to have one of you that's almost vacant, which is me, and then you have to have one of you that's a bit of an overthinker. I don't know, and then it kind of like works because if both of you like overthought things and like I don't know, or both of you are a bit vacant and didn't really think about much, would it work? I don't know. Maybe it
Yeah.
works when.
oh, I just maybe yeah, I think maybe it works because like I think for me when I overthink, like say packing for example, I overthink packing,
Oh my
whereas
God, yeah.
Chloe can literally pack on the day that we're leaving, and I'm like, wait, you haven't packed? And she's like, no. I'm like, Chloe, literally leaving 5 hours from. What do you mean you haven't packed? And I'm like, right, so I've got notes on my phone. I just need to tick everything off. Have you got this? Have you got this? And then we get to where we're going, and she's like, have you got hairspray? I'm like, yeah. Have you got face wipes? Yep. Toothpaste? Yeah. And she's not brought any of it, and I'm like, so maybe it does work. Maybe it does work.
So if we bring it back to Glasgow, since we're in the Glasgow HYROX race week and you're racing tomorrow, have you got any, for anyone that's maybe never raced a HYROX before or that's racing in the next few weeks, have you got any like tips on race prep and like what you do before a race to get ready since you're racing tomorrow and you're in the middle of it right now?
Yeah, so usually I would go for like a shakeout run, but I'm more so listening to my body this time. And when I really think about it, like a 2 a.m. alarm this morning wasn't kind. So I did take a nap this afternoon and I am still tired. So I won't be doing a shakeout run. It's not gonna make me any sharper. It's not gonna make me any fitter, any faster. So instead I am gonna listen to what my body's telling me, and that is just to rest. So had a nap this afternoon. I'll do exactly what I usually do at home. I'll just settle down, have something to eat, read a book, have a cup of decaf tea before I go to bed, and then have a really early night's sleep, get a good night's sleep. In the morning, nothing will change. I'll have the same breakfast as I have at home. I'll have all of my supplements like I'd have at home. I'll drink like I would at home. I'd have my morning coffee. Nothing for me changes on race morning. Um, if anything, I'll just make sure that I add a few more Weetabix to my overnight Weetabix. That is literally it. And then I'll go to the venue and probably have a gel and snack on some Haribos and a banana, and then get ready to race.
I love that.
Extra Weetabix, you know, why
Yeah.
not?
Why not? A girlie needs a carb. She needs a Weetabix.
So good. And you are, I mean, this episode's going to come out after the Glasgow race, so it's going to come out once you've done the race. But do you want to share with us your goals? Do you have a time in, I'm not sure what your PB is at the moment, but do you have a time in mind, or have you got, maybe we could change that question as to like, do you have like ABC goals or things that you want to get from the race that you do tomorrow?
So what I really want to get out tomorrow is just to feel like I'm coming into Lauren again. I think I did lose who I am a little bit. Um, but I think to tap back into who Lauren is, what she stands for, and why she races is massive for me tomorrow. A PB would be incredible, but I'm not putting on any pressure to get one. It would be really, really nice, and I feel like I have it in me, but I don't want to set my expectation of myself too high because when I do that and don't achieve it, I can be very, very self-critical. Um, so yeah, just find Lauren again and have some fun because Glasgow's always been a fun HYROX event for me every single time. Um, it's just been it's always so much fun. So I just want to go out there and do what I do best in Glasgow, and that's just have fun and race well.
Love that. That's a
Yeah,
very
best
good
thing to do,
answer.
isn't it? And then
Yeah,
with that, anything that comes as a bonus, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
yeah, no, that's really good. And well, that probably brings us nicely then to my closing question, which would be if you had any message or advice for your younger self or the next generation of girls coming up, what would it be?
So for my younger self, I would just like to tell her not to care what other people think and don't be so disheartened if people don't like you. Like, people don't like themselves, Gilly. People don't like themselves, okay? And I think for the next generation, like, dare to take up space as a female, um, and set the foundation for those coming behind you in the next generation as well. Just dare to take up space, always. Be
Yeah.
loud.
Yeah, no, I think it's so true, and I do think like it's such an important message, and also like you say, everyone's not everyone's cup of tea. You don't have to like, and you're never gonna please everyone. I mean, this is like totally rogue, but I used to own a cafe, and I learned the hard way that you're never gonna please everyone
Yeah,
because someone wants one kind of cake, someone wants one kind of coffee, someone wants this, someone wants that. You can never make everything enough to please everyone, like, because everyone has an opinion and it's different. So, yeah, I love that.
absolutely.
I think it's a very, very important message. And well, before we say good luck, which we obviously will, where can people follow you and find out more about you, how you get on in Glasgow, because they might want to take a little look back and just to follow another strong female and incredible athlete?
Yeah, so I'm mainly on Instagram, to be honest. TikTok, not so much, but I am still very present on there, but I just don't use it as often. So on Instagram, it's at underscore laurenleigh.fit, and it's the exact same over on TikTok as well. So yeah, come and see your girly for lots of vibes, hyping women, empowering women, because why the hell not? We should all be doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
100%. And that's why it's so nice to like speak to so many awesome women on this podcast and just get people's voices out there and yeah, share people's profiles so people can follow the right influencers rather than,
Absolutely.
some of the influencers out there that maybe aren't the best for everybody. So yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing your story. Thanks for being so honest today with everything you shared. It's really nice to hear it's not all sunshine and rainbows, even from an athlete that's got an incredible background like you have, and did your first high rocks and absolutely smashed it out the park. It doesn't mean it's always just going to be PB after PB, which I think
That's
sometimes
not.
people always think it will be.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that's something we've also normalized in the space as well. And it's
Yeah.
not normal. Trust me, it's not normal.
No,
Yeah,
it's
I
it's
know.
hard to do, and I mean, especially coming from a running background, even if you're trying to take like seconds off to get a PB, aren't you? And
Yeah,
Hyrox has been so new; it's been like new world record, new PB, blah 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 blah. Blah. But like, it's going to get to a point where it's you're going to be fighting for seconds, and that doesn't come easy. That comes after months and years of training just to get those seconds off, doesn't it?
exactly. And like one thing I do just want to end on as well is like anybody who wants to come into HYROX and obviously like try and get quite high in the sport. One thing I've learned from my coach Ollie is that like you really need to approach it as an Olympic cycle, as Olympians do. They work 4 years towards that one single race. So just bear that in mind as well. It's not going to happen quickly, but when it does, like it'll all come together as and when it should.
Yeah,
Great,
very
great
true.
note to end on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, good luck. Huge good luck for
Yeah.
tomorrow. And I hope you do go out there, have fun, enjoy Glasgow. Fingers crossed the Scots will be out in force cheering.
Well, always are.
Always, always. But thank you so much for your time, especially before race. Hopefully we've like helped you switch off a little bit or distracted you a little bit, even though it's been about HYROX, it's still yeah, ticking down the hours that everyone doesn't like pre-race.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you so much. And we can't wait to see how you get on.
No, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.